An Introduction to a Democracy in Demise, 2011, a lyrical sonata in 3 parts. Part 3, Tyrants and Their Descendants. We are living in the time of a democracy in demise. The self-entitlements of tyrants have resurrected the rule of personhood. Arbitrary and petty, chosen by themselves, an assembly of the few, globally in control and committed to the pursuit of political and social reversion. Rolling back all progress made, every advancement and measure of attainment, emancipating self-determination from the bondage of economic slavery. We are living in the time of a democracy in demise. Corporate carpetbaggers outsourcing the reconstruction of the war-torn United States Constitution seek their profit at the expense of human misfortune. A situation supported by a Congress of scoundrels redistricting the restrictions regulating the repossession of plantation America. When the security of the many is maintained by the tyranny of the few, our personal sovereignty is the greatest threat to public safety and national interests. When the luxury of tax breaks that benefit the billionaire's bottom line are the same tax breaks that keep the majority of Americans on the bottom rung of the ladder, we are living in the time of a democracy in demise. A tilted playing field, warped by a steel-like vice of greed and weighed down by the possessiveness of mine, mine, all mine, only to be lost in the outright emptiness of absolute ownership when everything owned is just not enough. Such is the torment of dictators and tyrants, and likewise the suffering of peasants and pawns, their subjects for maximum taxation and labor. When a grassroots public service personhood with false fronts and hidden agendas finances ad campaigns for national elections, the majority of votes are counted in dollars. When such a candidate is credited and invested with the power of the people, the earned political capital is spent reimbursing capital wealth. When the odd equity of conditions shared between a man living in the gutter and a man living in a mansion is that neither one of them has any taxable property or income, we are living in the time of a democracy in demise, a prejudicial spectacle for the one-eyed and blind. Celebrity demagogues preaching from the pulpit of popular opinion dominate the political debate. Rationalized irrationality argues the virtues of unprincipled positions. Masters of misinformation and narrative spin pathologically twisted, selective, and fictive, cultivate intolerance in the name of national pride, self-righteously mutating their genetic misinterpretation of Darwinian theory as survival by the most mean-spirited. An abusive minority, committed to causing pain, has no lack of members misguided into action. Their postural displays of thuggery and threat, the marginal denominator of Pavlovian multipliers, mobilize the lowest emotions common to rampaging mobs and trapped animals. Such are the symptoms of an unsatisfied selfishness. The arrogance that demands our submission and surrender. Such is the essential psychosis and character of tyranny. The words and images that would manipulate how we think are falsehoods that are traumatized by a fraction of the truth. We are living in the time of a democracy in demise. Corporate pirates, disguised as patriots, vandalized the graves of our founding fathers. Marauding masters of money and murder, elite members of a fascist fellowship, position themselves to deliver the final death blows to our democracy. The end of it being our subjugation to the dictates of a capitalistic ideology. We are living in the time of a democracy in demise, the American democracy, and its collapse into the catastrophic vortex of social polarization, systemic political fiction, financial criminality, and terminal debt. We are living in the time of a democracy in demise. The American experiment has come undone.